I saw the U.S. Soccer Federation and all the great people there, taking some years to come around, I might add, but they came around. And when they came around in fashion because they have now set the standard for how women's soccer teams, national teams, should be supported worldwide. And every other country strives to do what our U.S. Soccer Federation is doing with our women today. It's phenomenal. The way they support them, the way they put them in residency, the way they train them. We have countries and people all over the world who stop us, who would come up to us after games and say, how did you get it done? Tell us, how did you get your federation to pay attention? And I see people like Alan Rothenberg, Marla Messing, who back in 1996, when they said, we want to bring the World Cup to the United States, they said, okay, we want to bring it here, but as Sunil was pointing out, we just don't want to bring it here and put it on the East Coast in small stadiums. We want to bring it here and we want to put it in the Rose Bowl. We want to put it in Giants Stadium. And I'm sure back in 1996, Alan and Marla got laughed at. But they had the vision and the courage to believe in that, and look what came from that. So I thought it was wonderfully fitting that Alan went in with his girls today. Thank you, Alan. I saw my friend Billie Jean King over and over telling me to get off my butt and do something. That is what was so great about her. She'd say, Foudy, what do you want for the next generation? What is your legacy? And this is something we worked with the team a lot. And we worked with John Langle, is leaving a legacy. It was so important to us. And talk about a woman who understands legacy. I saw my coaches on the national team. I saw Anson Dorrance, my very first coach, telling us that I admire talent, but I respect courage. I'll never forget that. It basically translates to get out there and rip their heads off. He set the foundation for the work ethic that became the national team. This blue-collar, gritty, didn't matter how many goals you scored, it didn't matter where you came from, we were in it together as a family, and so I thank Anson for that. I saw Tony teaching us to switch into different systems, to be versatile, to deal with adversity. On the field, we can go from a 4-4-2 to a 3-4-3 to a 5-4-1 to my favorite system, which was like a 0-0-11. And you mean I have to play defense, coach? And what a great lesson for life. He taught us so much confidence and versatility. I saw my third coach, if I could get to it, April Heinrichs. From being our first great captain on the national team and winning a World Cup with her, to being our great leader and leading us back to gold, coming full circle in 2004. I saw my brothers and sisters who are here today. My two brothers and my sister, they spent 18 years crisscrossing the globe with their families in tow, their kids in tow, stuck in airports. But they were the first ones in the stands cheering, there to support me. And I thought, how lucky was I to have such a great support group and network there every World Cup, every Olympics. So thank you for being there this entire journey. I saw my incredible extended family. Again, many of them here today, aunts and uncles, cousins. I can't name them all because there's too many, but they were the Rowdy Foudy section. And it was the first section I would look for when I would walk into a stadium. I would go and I would find where the Rowdy Foudy clans were. And Smitty, like I told you, they would make you proud in that area. I saw my adorable English in-laws, Ruthie Babes and Steady Eddie, who had to join the Rowdy Foudy section and probably thought, what in the hell did we get ourselves into here? First time I met them in England, they said, Ruthie said, you play football? I said, yes, Ruthie, I do. I play soccer out in America, that's what we call it. And she said, I didn't know they played. Ruthie and Eddie went on to become our most loyal hooligans that we had with the U.S. national team. I saw my incredible mom and dad cheering like crazy from the stands and not knowing what the heck they were cheering about, actually. My mom, still to this day, and this is a true story, she doesn't know what position I play. But she would be the first one, win or lose, to come up and give me a hug. Honey, you played fantastic. I'd say, Mom, that was awful. Oh, dear, no, it wasn't. You kicked that ball so hard. My dad, to this day, he has no idea what offsides is. He was the first person in my life to introduce me to sports, though. He would say, go out there and try it all. I don't care if it's soccer, tennis, I don't care what it is. Go out there and enjoy it. And for that, I thank them. I thank them every day because sports defined me. And I look back, and I remember when I was in elementary school, and I would be coming home, and I'd be covered in mud. And my parents would say, what were you doing, dear? I mean, like, I was out playing tackle football with the boys. It was so much fun, and I'm covered in mud, right? And you would think parents would say, well, honey, that's really something a girl shouldn't do. No, my parents were like, that's great, honey. How'd you do? Did you tackle them? And that's how they were. That defined my parents, and it's how they should be. They were supportive. They had no idea about the game of soccer, but they were the first to give me a hug. They opened all the doors and said, walk through the ones you want. In fact, leap through them. So thank you, Mom and Dad.